In this YouTube video, I'm going to be giving you walkthroughs of 5 New York City apartments, giving you my pros, my cons, a little info on the neighborhoods, and just my general thoughts of the places as I actually see them. So you can actually get a feeling of what it's like to go along and search for an apartment in New York. Here we go, let's go find a new apartment. We're about to see spot number 1, and we are in the East Village. The East Village is nice because there's definitely lots of coffee shops, there's lots of bars. There's just more life going on here than my current neighborhood. And the first place I'm seeing, it's definitely on the smaller side, and it's sort of the jump off for our apartment search in New York. Now to start off, this apartment is very, let's just say it's cozy. Not too much natural light, and that's the thing I look for, is the natural light. But I love the exposed brick. It really gives you that authentic New York feel. Basically, this is just a room with a kitchen and a bathroom. The kitchen was redone, which is nice. That's a big plus. There's new appliances, and there's a washer and a dryer, which is a huge plus, and that's actually pretty rare for this type of old brownstone building. And there was an outdoor space to store my bike, which is actually very important because I'm a cyclist. That's how I get around the city. Place number 1, that was just about 75 square feet. When you're looking for an apartment in New York, always bring a friend. Having that second eye is always important. You could see a place and think it's amazing, but then you have your boy here, your voice of reason, to kind of help you weigh the pros and the cons when looking at these spots. Apartment number 2 is a Chelsea studio. Now it's mid-range on my budget. This one is about double the size of the last apartment. There was a beautiful kitchen with a very high ceiling, which gives the illusion of a bigger apartment than it actually is. And there were all new appliances, which again is a plus. It has more of that great exposed brick that I was talking about in the first one. Decent bathroom, nothing crazy. I like that place a lot, dude. It was spacious, but yeah, you know, still small. The New York studio. High ceilings. You kind of pay for the neighborhood, and that's a big thing in this whole apartment hunting process that you'll see.
It's a nice area right there. It's
hey, don't tell me where we're at, bro. I might live here. I'm gonna tell you the neighborhood, but not the exact locations, because one of these might be my potential house. Off to apartment number 3. We're moving up to the kind of midtown Kips Bay neighborhood, which is actually where I live now. It's very different than Chelsea. Take a mini tour of New York, huh? Apartment number 3 is a midtown studio. Now this was mid-range on my budget. You can't really tell in the video how large this studio is, but it's definitely the largest of the 3 so far. It has very high ceilings, which is a huge plus for me. It has a brand new kitchen, brand new bathroom, and this cool Game of Thrones type light, which is kind of a quirky little ad. There was no natural light though. It was basically facing an alley. That was on the 4th floor of a walk-up. I like the space a lot. It was just basically one big open room, a little bit cheaper than the one before, but then again, that one was in Chelsea. This one, as you can see, is kind of right in the middle of Midtown, so you have all the skyscrapers around. Definitely less of a neighborhood vibe and more of that vibe where you're in it, you're in the middle of the action. Taxis, yeah, taxis everywhere. Apartment number 4 is a Soho West Village border 1-bedroom apartment. This place was mid-range on my budget, but the neighborhood is vibrant, it's alive, it's a very cool place to live in New York. The bedroom was very tiny. As you can see, I can almost put my arms across the bedroom entirely. Lots of storage, which is a plus. Having that divide between the kitchen and the bedroom is also pretty great. The building was very old and not recently renovated, which can be a problem looking down the road because then I have to have renovations. And the bathroom and shower looked like an economy ticket on a straight flight to Bali. This is the last place for the day, and we are in the lobby. Not bad at all. I'm digging it. Apartment number 5 is a Chelsea studio. This apartment is in a luxury pre-war building. Very spacious studio. Great natural light. Kitchen is right over in this corner, and the kitchen is actually pretty small, as you can see right there, just enough room to cook for one person. The bathroom was average. I'm a guy where if I have a nice view of the city or anything, that's kind of the selling point for me. Check this view out. Speaking of views, this place had one of the nicest rooftops I've ever seen in New York, with a 360-degree view of Manhattan, looking south to the World Trade Center and then looking north to the Empire State Building. There was also a gym in the building and a laundry room. This is the bonus apartment. We are in the same building as the last one you just saw with the rooftop and the view of the World Trade Center, but this one has an outdoor terrace. This is a super rare thing to have in New York, to have patio space that is almost the size of the apartment in there. I mean, this is, you could do so much here. Barbecues out here, you could build an igloo out here in the snow. Look at all this space for activities. And it's a bit more, not by much. What do you think? View or terrace? Comment down below which you think. I mean, I'm kind of torn, I'm not gonna lie, but I really could see myself living in either of these last two. Mike and I searched from 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. going to 4 different neighborhoods. So that right there is the look into step number 1 of finding an apartment in New York. Looking at the places is just the beginning. Now that I have picked the one that I like out of these 5 places, I have to apply it. Comment down below your favorite apartment of the 5, actually 6 because of the bonus, that we saw in the video today. And if you're moving to New York or you know someone who wants to move to New York, comment down below or share this video with them. Hopefully it gave you some insight and some information on how to go about finding a place and what to look for when you're actually looking at these apartments. If you liked it or you found it interesting, make sure to subscribe to my channel to see the rest of this series, which will be coming up over the next, I'd say, 3 weeks as I actually move into one of those places, which is exciting. It's cool to have for the memories, you know, looking back on the process of finding the place that, you know, I'm gonna live in. I will see you in the next video where hopefully I will have one of these 5 apartments. So until then, as always, OG viewers, the OG Erik Conover vlog viewers, remember to smile more, worry less, live your passion, and just have a good life.